one.
Win.
Wow. Okay. I'm terrible at this. Let's start with a picture of Ben's cat. Right. Hey guys. Welcome to episode number 2 of Dev Diaries discussion um episode. So today, my guests are Aidan Norris. Say hi,
And
Aidan.
hello,
And I've got with us Ben Gearing.
hello, hello.
Today we'll be working on development for Lumen, continuing our work from last time. Ben will be also with us. Ben's busy at the moment, so if you hear a lot of typing, if the typing's too loud,
I'll keep it quiet. Don't worry.
but we have we have to do adult stuff and actually
Yeah, actually get a job.
actually look for jobs.
You
So
got another year.
yeah, Aiden's got another year to go through before he's got to worry about
I'm
this.
still, I'm telling you, I've still got a job technically. So
Yeah.
So just a recap of the last episode. Um, we got into the initial character.
Timer start.
Oops, that was my button. Um, we got into the creation of Lumen. We started like breaking him down into a mind map. We then also got into some test voices that we were practicing with before we got into a discussion with Luke. A bit unstructured, I admit. I didn't know what I was doing. But this episode, and for future episodes coming, there will now be a set structure. And don't worry, I'll be putting timestamps on the video, so if you guys only wanted to see a certain section, or if you wanted to just watch it in bits, like in short bursts, you can use the timestamps to jump to the section that you want to watch. But breakdown for it is about 30 to 45 minutes of development time, so that'll be either me and Aiden and possibly a special guest depending if they're free during that time. We'll be looking at like actually creating the character of Lumen or any other work that we're doing. Um, that would be just straight up development, no discussion. Like there will be some coding, there'll be some art, there'll just be some script reading or script writing, and then after those 30 to 45 minutes, we'll then move on to the discussion time, which is when we actually talk to our guest and like ask about their experiences and what it was like for them, what helps them, and just finding out like how mental like their mental health has affected them in their lives. I will put a disclaimer in the beginning of this video right now, and I'll put it in the description as well. We will be discussing mental health, and I know it can cause triggers for a lot of people out there. So if you are subject to any of these triggers, or if like there's a chance that it might upset you greatly, then please tread carefully. We'll mostly be discussing these things. Like I feel like the triggers will mainly come from discussion time, so I'll make sure that I'll put another warning just before we get into discussion time again. But please tread carefully when and like if it's too much for you, please like don't continue watching the video. I don't want to upset anyone out there because I know the topic is very serious and it has affected lots of different people in different ways. But anyway, we shall get into development. So, quick look at the Trello board where we've gone to. Um, I don't know if not much has really been done apart from the Dev Diaries where I've just talked about the first episode and that it being aired. The character development, or we began working on it, the links there. But apart from that, the Trello board hasn't really changed. I've been working on, well, I've been working in my normal day job, so I haven't had time. I have actually finished some of the walking animation for that. That's in the actual art corner video that will be coming out soon. But back to Lumen. So we did end on some script writing and just script reading. However, I feel like we need to solidify the character a little bit more.
Yeah, we were touching more a lot on like the general intro to the game, but as much as that would be nice, we need to get the character down to a T before we start making
I mean,
rash decisions on his voice, maybe.
not even down to the T. I just think right now we have a character, we have like a shape, but it's kind of still like a silhouette. We still don't have like any defining features. And I mean like I don't mean that just by how he looks, but like in general like his personality and everything like that.
Yeah.
So Ben, I don't know if you seen this this mind map before.
Well, it might help if you shared
Yeah,
it.
it'd help if you live streamed it.
Oh my god, that would be great, wouldn't it? You know what? That's what I forgot. So guys, I've totally done this before, and I totally did come from a 12-hour shift, and I'm totally not tired. Right. Hello, Ben. Welcome, Ben.
Hello. Yeah, in this stream.
Um, right. For those people that are wondering what I'm using Coggle to make a mind map. It's free. It's online. Um, it's really easy to use. Very colorful, which I like. And if anyone wants to know what I'm using for voice, I'm pretty darn sure you know Discord. Um, yeah, I could share my screen on Discord, so I always found it to be a really good app to use for voice. Anyway, so Ben, have you seen this mind map before?
Yeah, I caught this on the the first video.
Right. Okay, so as you can see with the who, we only have really three things there, and they're not really clear. Imagery. Okay, I was looking at this mind map, right? And I was looking at the imagery, and I was like, I kind of get what I'm saying. And then you just get to the bottom two of these ones.
Uruguay and
I,
landscape. Yeah, they are.
I Uruguay is a good for imagery because it's a well-known character. It immediately brings like certain things to mind.
Yeah, and you know what? From watching I watched Kung Fu Panda. Well, I watched snippets of Uguay recently for research purposes, not because I was bored or anything.
Need to
Yeah,
refresh your mind of what Uruguay is like.
He
you
really,
need Uruguay's words.
yeah, yeah. Just kidding. There are no accidents. But Uguay's character, he really is just very soft boy.
Hmm.
Like genuinely had like that warm presence to him. It's like I definitely think if it was imagery, Uguay, as much as it's a joke to us or it's a meme, but Uguay is actually a very good symbolization for people that have always been like believed in you.
Yeah,
I mean, like he believed in Poe.
yeah, and just like a very accepting aura. So,
Yeah.
like you don't feel like he's gonna criticize you if you just make one simple mistake.
Mm.
Oh,
Aidan,
yeah, but there are no mistakes, are there? Are
Hmm.
there?
there are no accidents. Aidan, if anything, like when we ever do voice recording again, just watch a Kung Fu Panda before
Watch Uruguay prior,
you
and then
watch Uguay clips prior, and then jump on. I'm ready
have
to
you had
record.
have you had any sort of thoughts as to like in terms of imagery, like have you had any ideas as to what you might like him to look like in terms of character design? Is going to be what is the word?
Um,
Or is it still kind of a bit of a blank canvas at the minute?
it's kind of like a blank canvas, but if I was to come up with like a rough idea as to how like his body shape. So we're looking at Uguay, right? But if we're looking at that it's a dark, grungy game. There's actually one man that comes to mind.
Really? Okay.
His posture, actually, very
He's a li-
specifically,
quite hench.
specifically this one.
Oh, you mean the
Yeah.
Yorick that was unplayable?
Okay, we don't talk about his unplayability. My guy, that ultimate was interesting. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked because in my last video that I recorded for the art for the uh art corner, I actually get sidetracked so much,
Yeah.
and I realized I
But
shouldn't.
what are you? So like kind of like that sort of model? Is that kind of what you're looking at? Someone who's big, not too intimidating, maybe not like flexing the muscles as much like he does. But
For me, it's just like the hunched over shape,
yeah,
like
well,
the
kind of implying that he's kind of old in a way,
yeah,
or he's got like a lot of weight on his shoulders. Maybe
yeah. Is that the new skin?
that's the Undertaker's game. Yeah,
That's not a new skin.
No,
no,
no, no. I mean,
actually,
is that the
it's the
new
it's the
the
retexture
retexture?
for it. Yeah, the
Yeah.
old one was the one to the left of the picture saying Jungle Yorick with a
Wait,
Hebrew face.
wait, that one.
Yeah, that's what it used to look like.
Actually, that's actually a pretty good imagery.
Yeah. Well,
So,
he's got your lantern, which we were referring to a lot last week.
no, I was saying lamp last week.
Yeah, I know, which is
I,
why.
I was looking for that lamp. Anyway, yeah, so like kind of want to make him look like Yorick. But like not obviously I don't want to rip him completely, but like the hunch over features, the
I was going
slouching. I
yeah,
mean,
that image that you're hovering over was kind of a good resemblance of like
yeah.
that sort
I
of.
mean, to be honest, like look at Uguay. Uguay would be
He's the same, apart from he just has the walking stick.
yeah, my
Obviously,
man.
if you're taking him out of context of him not beating the shit out of what's his face,
Tai Long.
Thailand, yeah,
But yeah, like you see how he's slouched and like it's kind of low. For me, like I think what it is kind of like the head dip.
yeah, he's not so upright and in your face.
Yeah, like obviously with like if you were to look at a character, um, like you said, Tai Lung, most of his most of his like look, it's very upright, straight.
Why it's easy saying power and dominance, isn't it? Always
Yeah,
upright, big posture, head back.
yeah. So definitely. So if we're going to go into the imagery section, actually, I'm gonna say I made a mistake. I don't know how to delete it like that. Okay, so I'd say if we go to the go to Uguay, then we go slouch, slouching,
Slash hunch maybe.
hunched, and I would say dipped head.
It depends how you want to have his head full stop. Like, did you want him to have somewhat of like a elongated neck, or is he going to be human? He might not even have to be human, for we know. Like, in terms of the game itself, he could just be. Yes, he resembles like warmth and comfort, but he doesn't necessarily have to be human.
It's true, but then again, the only monsters in the game are bad. I kind of don't
Yeah,
want to make him like a beast-like creature because it just then kind of like it would link him to the monsters.
we're going for just like a hunchback of Notre Dame sort of
Quasimodo
persona.
look.
I mean, it's kind of where we're going, really.
Quasimodo. I don't know how you spell Quasimodo.
Because he's just like a innocent, loving character that doesn't mean any harm. Very much like Uguay, but Uguay's got a bit more sense, I think.
Hmm.
I mean, Quasimodo was like trapped for ages.
And you talk to statues, so
Yo, can we talk about were those statues real or not? Who knows?
I feel like it's probably open to interpretation.
What was lower ass?
Huh?
I think maybe you were trying to type lower as things go on, or
I'm gonna
This
look
was
lower.
just my voice. We'll get that up.
We'll get back to the voice later. To be honest, that's a quite a good set of imagery to go for.
Yeah.
Um,
The curvy, hunched over, friendly, inviting.
mm,
Did you want to give him like an actual face? Or is he gonna be covered in a mask? Or
I don't know. What do you
is he
think,
gonna
Ben?
be hollowed out?
for someone who's meant to be like comforting and like accepting, I feel like a mask it can sometimes symbolize like hiding stuff.
Mm,
So you might not want to put a mask on it.
true.
So you
Ben?
can design a mask as like nice as you want, but there's just some inherent like artistic of someone wearing a mask.
I agree, definitely. I mean, like,
Unless you want to do something like Bard, where his physical form is it can't really be perceived, and it's like a mask is to humanize, but it depends on what your
That's
vision for like his body and stuff is.
for
kind
context,
of
for people watching the video that might not know who Bard is, so, alright, this is going to be a thing throughout development and character development specifically.
it's
Most,
revealing who we are.
yeah, most of us here play a specific game called League of Legends. And I'll say, the game's art design and characters is just amazing. So a lot of the things we derive or like would take inspiration from. Well, you would help if I didn't burp
I'm
first. Um,
glad D&D came up first.
but yes, most of our ideas or like things would like stem from these characters because the game is expansive and has a lot of characters already. But this is what Ben means when he says bard. I
Yeah.
mean, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's a pretty good reference point.
It's a good reference point. I mean, I went straight for Uguay, but Bard is a good reference point.
Yeah, because I
Oh,
mean, Bard is a being of like pure just sound and energy. So that's like all of the stuff he's got on is to give him a form so people can like humanize him, I guess, when it
Yeah,
comes to like the law.
but I think Bard goes under the same thing of the If people don't know, well, Bard's a support character, so he's all about healing and like well, time stopping. Like he barely hurts people unless you play him how I play him, which is
we're not going that far.
yeah.
We're not.
Anyway, Bard goes under the whole like round boy look, doesn't he?
Well, the hair, I would say, kind of gives him that persona a lot. Because had the hair not been there, it would look a bit odd. But the mane looks soft,
That
inviting.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, round boy.
Oh yeah, I know, but that's like we knew who Barb was before that picture.
But like, for example, for me, this does not look like Bard for me because it does not look.
No, no, that's like the sort of persona that the Barb would have if you're building him, kid. Like you're looking down because you're doing damage, but in terms of like a support friendly character, the rest of his skins are just they give him minimal facial features.
Look at this round boy.
Uh,
Yeah, I think Ben hit the nail on the head there. I'd say like if we were to focus on anything, Bard would be very much a good imagery to go for. That kind of round boy look. But obviously, I think the mask thing. I still agree with Ben on that point. The mask is a little bit too because you don't know what's behind. Like,
Yeah, because I personally I find Bard's mask very inviting, but that's also because the rest of him is very soft and very.
yeah, I feel
So
like it's not the mask.
yeah. So if you wanted to add a mask to your character, I feel like you'd have to pay even greater attention to detail about the entire rest of his design.
Totally agree with you there. My biggest problem with that is, um, I kind of I, d- I don't mind putting the greater detail into the design. However, I feel like too much detail can then just completely strip it away from, like,
Yeah, it can become confusing.
yeah, it could become too much at some point. Like, amazing detail here with Bard, but if you saw that in my game where the art style is not like that, it's just, or like not that detailed, as not as detailed as this, it will just very much rip away from the immersion. So I very much want to be like minor features, but the features that are on there probably are like very
So like,
distinctive.
so minimal but significant.
Yeah, that's a very good way of putting it. So the imagery corner is just
Minimal.
minimal. Yeah, so minimal but significant. I should probably put features because I know I will forget. Minimal but significant features. I very
Well,
much feel. Yeah, sorry, Aid.
well, I was just gonna say, as much as we've got a lot of imagery here, so it probably is gonna be not far along from stripping the ideas from these imagery, kind of creating something of a character soon enough, I suppose, isn't it?
This is actually one of the questions I've wanted to ask Ben about development. Is it? Do you reckon it for you? Do you think it's easier to develop a character if you have an image of them?
Uh, yeah, yeah. I think I kind of feel like it is because like for me, when because I've not got great like artistic skills, whenever I try to make a character, I'd go based on like what they can do first, and I'd always end up like slipping away from like what I originally intended because I was just like run away with ideas rather than like have a visual aspect to like look at and go, does this actually fit like the character and like there? Because I feel like it's easy to base like say example like uh Dishonored because I've been playing that a lot recently. It's like Corvo's look matches his powers uh like really well. And I feel like they probably had the character design first. So it was easier to give him a set of abilities that would like match that.
I mean,
Whereas like if I didn't know what Corvo looked like and they're like, oh, you can give him all this like supernatural powers, like help him traverse levels or like take people down, I just run away with the idea and probably get too distracted on like what I could possibly do and what not what he should do.
you know what? I agree. I think very much if you don't have that set or that baseline image, you'll then, like you said, you run away with ideas, and then you'll end up putting too much onto the like the character has to like do this, do that, do this, do that, look like this, look like that, and you just keep piling on and on.
Because oh man, I don't know if I should. I'm not gonna name drop, but there was a certain
Oh yeah, like well,
certain
let's not
lecturer
name
who
drop.
worked with us who didn't really focus on the art stuff and would always ask questions. What about if you did this? Like, why don't you take it even further and do that? And it's like that's not what I want to do. That's not my original idea.
Yeah,
I think it's getting to the point where we need a bit more, bit of an anchor to
yeah,
keep us from straying too far. So it's like getting an original concept down
Yeah,
from what we've got, and
right.
then we can tweak it from there. I think because yeah, we're running off with ideas of who we'd like it to look like or aspects of what. And I think we might overcomplicate it for what your character is.
Okay, I like the idea. So I'm happy for this session to actually let's just quickly check the stopwatch. 19 minutes, right? Or 20 minutes actually. 20 minutes.
Also, I'm not expecting you to come up with an idea and
Oh,
sketch
no, no,
it
no.
off the bat, but
No, but what we can do right now is I can actually do some quick, like some character ideas. If you guys just shoot off ideas at me, I'll do a quick like it won't be great, it won't be amazing, but it'll be a like an idea or like just quick sketches from um for the work. Oh, yep. Uh, you guys, if you haven't seen this before, this is the main character. The done some of the walking animations and running animations. Right here.
I still get blown away by that.
Huh?
It's just, I still get blown away a little bit by that. It still looks crisp as hell.
Thank you. Actually, I'm redrawing this again soon.
No.
No. I mean, like I'm retracing the lines because obviously some lines aren't crisp. So
Oh yeah, okay.
right. So
It might. I don't know how it helps with. Obviously, I'm not a drawer, but would it help to
artist.
have just like your just kind of like the main words or whatever to the right of your picture, just to reference from? Don't see any images or anything, but like draw what would you imagine that all of those words to create?
Yeah. Good idea. So I'm just gonna go snip.
I don't know. I don't know how you sketch because I don't. But there's a reference point.
I tried using Kenji's drawing pad in second year, and it was not easy.
Yeah, but Kenji
Uh,
has the benefit of being able to draw without one.
Yeah, he's a good artist.
It's also the fact that I've been using a sketchpad for so long.
True. You've had one for
4
at
years.
least. Yeah, I was about to say it's been near enough half the time I've been. So
Hmm. Right. Okay. So we got our imagery. So if we're looking for hunch figure, we'll just do from the side view. So he's kind of like, if you look at his spine curvature, it is really bad.
yeah,
Man's
I can
got,
relate. I can relate. I can relate.
yeah, it's just like,
That's just called working in tech. Horrible posture all day.
It's just working full stop.
Yeah.
so if it's like the head area would be kind of like here, and then he'd have, or it would have slouching arms like that. So if like if if Baymax was slouching
Okay.
type thing, so there's arms.
So like very round.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like what we referred to last week. We didn't want things to be too sharp. Just wanted soft features, but not too dynamic.
his eyes are like there.
Legit Baymax. Oh, actually, no. That smile doesn't really give him like it makes it more creepy than
I
anything.
know.
Maybe just the eyes, no smile, but
I mean, the smile is only there for effect.
yeah, it doesn't look so creepy that way.
Boo.
I was just stealing it from Bard.
And then I said he was gonna have like a massive like lantern type thing here. So it'd be
Did
good.
you want him to have it as like a walking stick sort of thing?
Yeah, like definitely like a walking stick, but uh, a very not good walking stick. And then if you have like a big lantern type thing.
It's looking very much like a Chinese lantern at this point.
A lantern is a lantern. I can't think of.
No. I like the size of this one.
It's
Because the
huge.
ones we were looking at last week were a little too small,
Yeah.
but kind of a little too gothic character, I feel.
So yeah, this is a kind of idea. Like, this is what we're going for.
Yeah.
He's
He's
like,
cute. Isn't nothing too. there isn't too much about him, but he doesn't look threatening in any way.
Should
Yeah,
we?
I feel like if I bumped into that on the street and he started like pointing, like gesturing to follow, I would follow. I'd be like,
Really?
let's go.
Then,
Yeah.
I,
you know the
I'd
thing.
hunt if I saw that in real life, my friend.
He's got an okay looking face.
He looks like a good boy.
Yeah.
I will definitely say like, um, I would run away from this because, I mean, come on.
I know it is kind of very much a little too Baymax at the moment.
Yeah, obviously
Yeah.
we're looking at like, if you get rid of the actual, so the face I don't think would be round if we're to then create another layer, and if we were to like actually put some features onto this, he kind of like have it would help if I was working on the other layer. You would he would like have a hood type thing like that, cause
Ah, right. Okay. Kenji,
yeah,
you might hate me, but do you know who you're drawing right now?
who?
You are drawing Yol of Londor from DS3.
Wait, why do I know that name?
Yoel. Yoel.
That looks much more disgusting though.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Than
It's
that.
from the Dark Soul universe, but that's the exact sort of visualization I just had, looking at like the lantern. Obviously, his is a little bit less significant because he's
Huh.
not a main character as such, but that's kind of like the soft approach that we kind of just picked up.
God darn it.
I'm not like trying to like rain on your parade or anything, but there's a
No,
lot
no,
of
it's true.
resemblance.
It's very much a lot of resemblance.
So
Yeah, right. I'm not gonna encroach onto that.
I thought I'd just mention that because that is quite a close resemblance.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what? To be honest, my mind with how my mind was, I probably subconsciously had his image in my
You've
head.
been watching too many videos of a certain YouTuber.
Yeah, I reckon so. Right. Um,
Kind of.
let's put
Where
it.
do you feel? Where do you feel with that? Do you feel like that's going to set you back a bit?
I feel that kind of has. I mean, I want to obviously keep with the same features, but if we were to look,
It makes you feel like you've encroached on someone else's like design.
yeah, obviously, and like,
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. But then again, if you want to go for an original concept, I mean, we can still keep the same similar features or like close features, but maybe kind of just visualize it in a different way. It could be smaller, it could be taller, it could even be, I don't know, like 8 foot tall. You don't know.
yeah, but I mean, the big thing differences between Yol and Lumen is the fact that Yol is very skinny and stuff like that.
But yeah, the concept of Yol in the game is that if you die and you become hollow, it gives you power and gives you 3 levels upon that.
Right. If you're alright, so let's. I think. Ooh, well, I don't know where to go from here though.
I
Um.
know. I feel like it's kind of like rubbed out a lot of the main points we've gone for.
Okay. So dip head, slouching, hunch. Um. Yeah, we haven't answered the question whether or not it should be humanoid. I mean,
Because that's kind of one thing that he has. He is humanoid, and he's obviously just got the follower shell on the back. But you could go for something less humanoid and still keep the features. Because given the world the world that you're painting is, there's very few, by the sounds of it, humanoid features anyway with most characters.
Yeah, but obviously that's because it's meant to signify.
Oh yeah, I guess in terms of like your bosses, etc. But maybe because this guy is meant to represent things like friendship and support, he might come across as a little bit more than just human. He could come across as something a bit more significant or meaningful.
We could just drop. I mean, we could make multiple sketches to this, but definitely can drop just the
Yeah,
humanoid.
I mean, keep that sketch for now because that's kind of just the general, like that just could be like base sketch. Use it as
Yeah,
a
definitely. All right. Well, at least I have like a
focal point.
base sketch to work on.
Yeah,
I'm actually gonna have it so his hand is actually holding another lantern,
yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
but it's like a smaller lantern type thing.
How are we doing for time also, Ken?
It's a good shout. 8 minutes. I mean, to be honest, where we are right now, we got this character. We kind of got like how he's gonna look like his rough looks and everything. Admittedly, the Yole thing did set us back, but at least the fact that we pointed it out was, well, that Aidan pointed it out meant that we didn't just. I didn't
We
just.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't want you to come and like think that you come across with like this idea and it's pretty much a duplicate of something that stands already.
Yeah, because that would definitely cause problems for like, anyone that isn't a developer or just anyone that's an artist right now. You guys know that definitely there's a lot of. It obviously sucked when you've done a lot of work and then someone just rips it off of you. So I just I don't want to do that.
I mean, I feel like you also have to kind of understand generic shapes of characters and stuff like that can is easy to like when you have a like simple starting design like that. But I think once if you add more detail and like other distinct features, it will like really distinguish each character as their own.
Yeah.
So it's like whether or not you stop now and go, actually, I'm going to go in a different direction, or going, I'm going to like add more detail, see if where this character ends up.
I mean, that actually doesn't look like yo.
No, no,
No,
no.
it's much. If the face wasn't round and more sunken in, then I'd be like, kind of. But I feel like where it is now, it could easily be its own character once you add more detail.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good start. We have a start, is where we are at right now.
Yeah, it's a foundation, isn't it?
Hmm.
Right. I think that'd be a good place to actually end for today. We actually managed to get a good amount of character imagery out. Um, like looking at all the words and the characters that we kind of based them off. I think right now, good baseline, definitely. So we're gonna take a 5 minute break. For those watching, it's just going to like you can skip the break. It's just gonna be an image at the moment or some music playing, I think. But we're gonna take a quick 5 minute break from the recording, and we shall get back onto discussion time where we'll then talk to Ben about his experiences and well, about what it was like for him. So we'll speak to you guys in a bit.
Hey guys, welcome to Discussion Time. This is episode 2 of Discussion Time, and joining us here today, we've got Aidan Norris and Ben Gearing.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
We'll be mainly talking and having a discussion with Ben, as Ben, you've had experience with mental health in the past, and you're also dealing with it now. So, just a breakdown of how how Discussion Time is gonna go. It's going to be the first half. We're going to be we'll be talking about like your history when you found out about it, how it affected you at the time, affected if it was at a young age, and your schooling, your family life at the time, and then what you also did to help it. And then we'll be then talking about it during uni time, and like how it affected you during uni, and any experiences that happened with you during uni, and like anything that you've done as well that made it worse, or anything that made it like helped you with your mental health. And then afterwards we'll be talking about like any advice you'd want to give it someone, like anything that you'd want to like share to the people that have either are going through mental health problems right now, or are dealing with someone that has mental health problems and they're just a little bit confused. So very much this discussion is just to give an insight into your life and to your experiences as well. Little disclaimer before we start this video: we will be talking about subject topics of mental health, mainly depression, and obviously it is a very like sore subject.
It's a heavy topic for some people.
Yeah, it's definitely a heavy topic for some people, and if it begins to upset you, or if it starts to upset you, or if the video topic is just too much for you, then please feel free to like not watch the rest of the discussion time. The last thing I want is to upset people and make people feel uncomfortable, and I know like there's not much we could do, seeing as the topic is very we're discussing about mental health. So please look out for yourself before anything. So let's start the talk. Right. So Ben, a little bit of introduction about you. So who are you?
That's an excellent question. Very existential. But yeah, I'm Ben Gearing. I'm a recent game development graduate, just on the hunt for a job. Not really doing much else at the moment.
I mean, yep. I know Ben from uni. We met in first year.
Yeah, and then we lived together for the last 2 years.
Yeah. I guess like because Aidan, you are here. Let's also do an introduction for you. Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Well, in this circumstance, I'm just a long lifetime mate of Kenji's, and we've always shared interesting games, and somehow I've ended up living with him through a year of uni, and here we are. I'm here to contribute, I suppose, what I can.
Aidan has definitely experienced, has seen from living with us what it's like, what we're like.
I've seen the stresses you guys go through in terms of dev,
yeah, as well as like our mental health. I think you've seen it.
Oh yeah,
definitely,
for sure.
Yes. So, if you guys are out there that are watching this video are fellow developers and are looking for a team, I know Ben here is like he's a capable developer. Like he does work in coding and everything. So check him out on his LinkedIn under Ben Gearing. I'll put a link on the description. I'll put the link on the video as well as the description, so you can check him out.
Appreciate that, my man.
Aidan, do you have any thing you want to plug for you?
I mean, anything you can probably plug is my LinkedIn also, I suppose, but it's a complete sidetrack in terms of topics at hand. But sure, why not?
I know Aidan does music, so whenever it
Oh,
gets
wow, I mix. That's it. But low key at the minute.
right. So let's then talk about um, mental health and about your experiences, Ben. So
Mhm.
when did you find out? When did you find out that you had mental health problems?
Well, I officially found out when I was about 17 in college because I actually went to the GPs because I was like, I'm been feeling like really shitty. It's like hard to get up in the morning. I procrastinate way more than anyone else I know. Because I just feel like if I try, it's gonna suck. So I found out when I was 17, but I feel like deep down I kind of knew something was up from like probably about 15, 16. So I'd had like an inkling for like a year and a bit, and I was like, you know what, I can't carry on like this. I need to go to the GP and figure out what the hell's going on.
I know some people experience well, like for some people it starts at an earlier age. Like you said 15, 16, but do you feel like
Mm.
you you had depression before that as well, but you just never realized it, or you never chalked it up to being depression or anything?
Yeah, definitely, because I feel like it's not like an immediate like you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I'm depressed. It's a slow progression.
Mm.
So I feel like there are definitely things that like after I went into therapy and stuff, and we looked back at like my life and we're like trying to find the cause of stuff. We're like, oh, I was the like times of my life where I was like, oh, that was depression. It wasn't just me feeling shitty for no reason. That was depression. So yeah, I feel like there was the long road, the steady slope down kind of started probably years before I even had an inkling.
I mean, from your whether it's your family or just your teachers or anything, I know that some people they feel like I know for some people they deny that they have mental health um, problems because of the surroundings they have, like the people they have around them, like you know, the people like friend, like family or like teachers just denying the fact that it might be that, or like might be a mental health problem. Did you have that as did you experience that in your life?
Yeah, I definitely had people tell me like, oh no, it's not that. Like, it's just you're just having like a bit of a rough time because of this or that, and they'd chalk it up to other reasons.
Mm.
But in the end, I was having a bad time with those other things because of the depression.
Yeah, like very much. I think. Do you think it's like there's a lack of awareness? Like some people just, or like they just don't like they don't really like.
I think it's like people they don't want to believe it.
Yeah, there's
They
like
want,
this weird like
yeah,
disbelief.
they want everything to be okay. So like, no way. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And I think especially like with a family, it's like if you grow up as like a very like happy child or like a lot of children are like they're hyper, they're energetic, they're like happy all the time. But then like that kind your parents like love that version of you. They're like, yeah, my child's a happy child. They're like always happy. They're always smiling. And then if things go like wrong later in life, they're like, I don't want to believe it. Like my child's a happy person.
Mm. Yeah, it's like like a lot of people, especially like um I'd say because back in the day mental health was not a major factor like as it is now. Like I think nowadays people are more aware of it and are more like what's the word I'm looking for?
Like
They're more
people were less aware back then.
yeah, they're definitely less aware back then. I feel like people always had like how they wanted to, like they had an image in what their children had to like were gonna meant to be like, I guess.
Or just like
yeah,
how their children had behaved in the past, and they were like, it's gonna stay like that forever.
yeah. I think like there definitely needs to become an understanding like with family members that there are there are things out there like experiences that can really affect, especially a child, a very impressionable mind. It could affect them for the better or the worse. So I think parents have to be just very aware about that, and I'm sure people are. I'm not saying they aren't.
Yeah.
I think it is quite difficult, especially at young ages, because it's very hard to like indicate whether something's up or something's wrong at a young age. You don't know how to express yourself at that age. You don't know what's going on. You just feel a certain way.
Yeah, because I can definitely remember, like, in the lead up to me going to see a doctor, it was I was in the mindset of, how do I express how I'm feeling? Like, I don't really know how to, like, get this across to people without, like, breaking a lot of stereotypes about, like, guys not sharing or, like, keeping their emotions buried.
Yeah.
So it was sort of like, I had a lot of friends who, some of them were like openly dealing with stuff. So like, I would go to them and be like, I feel this certain way. Is that normal? Like, what the hell's going on? And they'd be able to help because they've like been through that. Like, oh, you might be feeling this, you might be feeling that. It could be this, could be that. I feel like that was very helpful, just having someone who knew what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Helping me find ways to express myself.
And you say these were your friends in school?
I had some friends who were like openly going through like similar things.
So what about your school life? Like, I mean, obviously you had been in sixth form, I believe, or like end of high school at least.
Yeah, I went to a sixth form college, which is slightly different, where they had like A levels and college courses at a less strict timetable. So it could end up being like I would have lessons from 12 till 5 and I'd go in for that.
Oh,
so I could like wake up later and
so kind of like
go in. Kind of, yeah, but with just A levels and like college diplomas of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I feel, yeah.
For you.
Sorry, carry on.
Oh no! Sorry, did you want to say something? Cause I don't want to.
No, sorry. No. You lead the conversation. This is your show.
Obviously, I just wanted to ask, like, for your teachers, like, how were they? How did they deal with the fact that, like, did you have moments during your lessons where you just, like, you were very depressed where you couldn't, like, do the work during lessons, and how did the teachers react?
I found during lessons wasn't really the issue for me. The issue for me was it was like getting up to go to college, because I would wake up in the morning and I'd be awake and I'd just be laying there thinking, what's the point in going? What's the point in getting up? And it was like a really like shitty mindset to be in. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
But it was like a really bad mindset to like be in, because I was stuck in this way of being like, what's the point? Like, why am I awake? Like, what's the point of being awake? Like going in, like. But once I was in, I found it was easier once I was in there, because I would have I would share lessons with my friends, and just like being around them put me in a slightly better mood and got me in a mindset to like get through the work.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was getting into college that was the issue.
Yeah, it was just like the steps beforehand, like the morning. That really, yeah. I mean, the fact that friends help you, like spending time with your friends, like actually help you get through the day. I think that's very important. That people shouldn't shut themselves off.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, because like in my second year of college, I did do great in some of like the more academic subjects I taken like maths, and so like we can't allow you to carry on this course, but you can like switch some stuff around, so you can like stay here and still go to uni next year, but you'll do like a different course for the last year of college. And that's when I got like moved out all but one of the lessons with my friends. So like in this second year of college, it became a lot harder because I couldn't see those people. Because so I could finish one lesson, and because there was like no one I knew in there, and it'd been like an absolute like mental slog to get through the work. I'd go into like the canteen or like the break area, and I'd sit there and go, I could just go home, like, because it's a college, it was very free flowing, so it was like I could go home, and at best the teacher would ask where I was in the next lesson, but never follow up on it. I'm glad I didn't, because like ever since I was like young, I had like the mindset ingrained in me, like if I'm there to like do something that will better my future, no matter how I'm feeling, gotta stick to it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't leave, because I was like, if I leave, people are going to be disappointed in me, and I'm basically be throwing away part of my education.
Yeah.
But it didn't make me feel any better, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it was like I was willing to stay, but I wasn't like feeling great about staying.
Do you feel like staying actually made was detriment to your mental health, or do you feel like it would have been worse if you went home?
I feel like it would have been worse if I went home, because it was like stressful to stay and like keep like pushing through and like having to be like alone in lessons. But it gave me that like structure to my life that I kind of needed.
Yeah, I find that with a lot of people that suffer from mental health problems, having a structure can really help them.
I mean, it definitely helps me, because like, as you guys probably saw from our time at university, I get into habits super easily.
Yeah.
So like, I would, even if it was something completely trivial, if it was part of my routine, I would go and do it.
Yeah. I remember in our second year, Ben used to just go to the shops and buy Kinder Buenos and Dr. Pepper like clockwork.
If it was something, even if it was just something to give me a bit of structure to my day, I'd do it. I mean, I'm still doing it now, because like we're in lockdown. It's very hard for me to have a routine, so I will just every morning I'll wake up, I'll check the fridge, see if we need anything. I'll go to the like shops and like buy myself something and like top up like the family fridge.
Yeah.
Top up the Dr. Peppers.
Always gotta keep them stocked up.
So you said you went to the GP at the age of 17?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I was like, well, from that is because I spoke to an appointment. I was like, I'm feeling this sort of way. I think I might, because I'd had friends who were going through stuff, so they were, it might be depression. Because I was like, I think I might be depressed. They had stuff prepared when I turned up, and they had me fill out a questionnaire, which was, oh, pardon me. It was like it was on like scales from like 1 to 10. It was like, how much do you relate with this feeling, or does this sound like you? And once I'd filled in the questionnaire, the GP went over it and offered basically options of like things that could be done. Because I think when I filled it out, they were like, yeah, it's definitely a form of depression. And they said I could either go on to medication or try cognitive behavior therapy with a charity that was near me.
Yeah.
And because I was young, and I was like, I'm concerned about being on medication, which isn't an issue. But at the time, I was like, I don't really want that to be something I personally rely to, because at the time I was like, I might not have a chemical imbalance in the brain. It might just be my experiences that have made me sort of like feel this way. So I didn't want to dive straight into the medication route. And I was lucky that I know not a lot of places have mental health charities with like no, like short or no waiting lists near where they live. but I was considerably lucky the most, to get a charity near me.
I mean, to be honest, like until the other day, I actually didn't even know that there were some charities that existed, like that were free for you to go to.
Yeah, it's I mean, it can be quite rare, because if they can't get the funding, then it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I think because it was a charity based in London, they could get the funding from somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, did they give you any advice on how to cope with it, with mental health?
Yeah, because the way my cognitive behavior therapy went is the therapist I was with, we looked at trying to find the cause of like all my negative thoughts or like negative spirals downwards with my mental health. So we tried to identify the cause and then give me coping mechanisms to deal with it.
All right.
And I mean, to this day, most of them like still work. Like I still like use a lot of them.
If you don't mind me asking, what are the coping mechanisms you have?
So at the moment, it is like having a routine. Like if I don't have a routine, it's very easy to like spiral downwards.
Yeah.
And then normally, if I start getting into like a negative thought spiral of like getting caught in a train of thought that is just making me feel worse and worse and worse, it's just doing something to break that spiral and take my mind off it.
Yeah.
So like while we're at university, like anytime I was like, I need a quick break from what I'm doing because I'm like starting a spiral, I'll just go and talk to someone else. So I'd come up to like your Aidan's room and like annoy you for like 5-10 minutes, see what you guys were up to, just to like break the spiral and be thinking about something else.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. Just coming into your room and being like,
I mean,
I need to like take my mind off stuff for a sec.
I get that. I understand that. I mean, I did that too myself. I think I got that actually from you because you used to do that in second year. Like,
go somewhere else in the house, talk to someone.
You definitely adopted it, Kenj, because you keep busting in my room most mornings.
I mean, I busted into everyone's rooms. I was an annoying roommate.
I mean, it kind of helped me because they helped me get up in the mornings.
Yeah, true that.
I just feel like I agree with you. I think just locking into yourself just really doesn't help, does it?
No, because like I mean, one of the things I learned through my theory is that when I like if I like let myself go down this spiral and like not talk to anyone or like get locked in like the train of thought, it was very easy to just literally hit rock bottom very quickly.
Yeah.
So just having that mechanism to just like take a moment and be like, right, do something else, break the pattern, start, and just getting the thoughts out of my head and thinking about something else.
Yeah.
It always seems to like lead to just like a better day, because I could change my thought pattern and I could be thinking about like if I was feeling bad about like having nothing to do in a day at uni, and then like I went to speak to like you or Aidan, it'd be like, all right, we could go downstairs and watch like a show together. We could play some games together, and then that would lead to basically me being distracted for 4 or 5 hours from what I was thinking about before, and then by the time we'd finished, it wasn't even on my mind anymore.
Yeah.
Well, from what I'm getting at this is just the fact that like games is a massive part to one of your coping mechanisms, I'd say.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. Like having games and like having like people like you and like friends to play them with is a godsend, because I think if I was just playing games alone every day, I'd probably be in a very similar situation to what I was years ago. But because I've got great friends like you guys who are almost always down to like play games as long as you're not busy.
Even
it's
when
just
we're
like
busy.
yeah.
Sometimes when we are, yeah.
But yeah, games are. Yeah, it's part of the reason why I wanted to get into games after I went to college, because I was like, it's genuinely really helped. So like, why not just like help give back to that industry?
Yeah, it's very much like because it played a massive part in your life. Like, it's a very good thing I see that like you want to do the same for other people as well.
Mm. Yeah.
But talking about uni, now obviously, uni, well, your college being similar-ish to uni, but uni being like in a workload a step up. Like the projects that you do in uni are significantly bigger than the projects you'll do in
Yeah.
college. With regards your mental health and trying to do these projects, like these big projects out there, how was it for you?
It was in first year. It was definitely like a huge, because the step up was so big. I ended up feeling a lot of pressure to what's the word? A lot of pressure to like, I guess, perform and like do as well as I was in college, which had like having those like anxieties and like I need to be at the same level I was when like comparing college and university is like like I said, it's a huge step up. So it's like it's really bad. It was really bad for my mental health to like be comparing university projects to college.
Yeah.
I mean, especially since like the marking was completely different, because obviously like at university, a 40% is a pass,
Yeah.
but at college it was like 60, 70 was the pass.
Yeah.
So it kind of had a negative impact at first, because I was just feeling so awful, because I was like, oh my god, I'm not doing as well. I'm getting like 20% less than what I normally would. But it took me like a good like half of the year to figure out like actually it's okay. Like getting anywhere close to like 80% is a rarity,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
So, how did you deal with it over the 2 other years that you were in uni?
Over the 2 other years, I got used to setting realistic expectations, because because we shared a lot of modules with computer science, if it was like a module I wasn't feeling too confident about,
Yeah.
I'd set myself the realistic goal of like, I want to get like a 2-2 or 2 or 2-1.
Yeah.
But if it was something I felt confident about, like the game development stuff, I would think to myself, I want to get myself a 2-1 or a first. So it was like taking that time to just sit and be like, I shouldn't hold myself to like a ridiculously high standard all the time,
Yeah.
because I'm not great at everything. I know what I'm good at this point. So for the stuff I'm good at, I'll set myself a higher expectation. I'll set myself like a better goal. But it's giving myself a little bit of a leeway and a bit of slack when it came to stuff I'm not great at.
Yeah, I guess like obviously because the fact that you set yourself these achievable goals, and then the fact that it's easier for you to achieve them, and if you achieve them, I think it help
It gives you that little boost of serotonin to be like, yes,
the
I
good
get
old
it.
serotonin. It's what we all crave.
To be fair, it's a valid point. The whole we set ourselves up so high, and because of that, if we don't achieve it, we fall so hard.
Yeah, so
we're like
being in that mindset.
It ain't fun.
I definitely think that that people need to be a little bit more aware that they shouldn't just nowadays everything is just like you said, there's a grading system. It's like a 60%, and they're like, you should all get 60%. But I think people need to be understanding and aware that people like you, Ben, who are in this situation where, like, not just you, but like a lot of people, where for them, having that achievable goal is actually going to help their mental health a little bit more. Because it just means they can actually, do something that they set out to do.
And it's also like understanding it, like your own strengths and weaknesses, and like knowing whereabouts you're gonna land.
And I
And
just
I think it's more healthy to like not compare yourself to others.
yeah, and I just feel like it should also go into like the people around you should understand that you know you're not going to achieve, or like you can, but like it's harder for you to achieve the top grades because you're going through a lot in your mind. I'm not saying that you can.
Yeah, it's harder work.
Yeah, so I think people
You got like extra hurdles to overcome.
Yeah, and I think like definitely people out there, like whether it's teachers or employers or anything like that, should be more understanding towards that.
Yeah.
The other side of uni life, apart from the education and the studying, obviously comes into the social life of it. Like for you, was there anything during your social life at uni that really worsened your mental health?
I wouldn't say the social life,
or helped it in any way, by the way.
I feel like for me the social life was kind of a bit neutral, because I mean obviously the social life in like first year and second year helped me make like a load of friends. Like I don't think without the social life in first year we would have bonded so quickly.
True.
And but also there's the like it's good to have the social moments and like talking to everyone, but like I personally I'm more of an introvert, so after like a load of social stuff I just want like a day or two to myself.
Yeah.
So it's like I wouldn't say it negatively affected my mental health, but there would be days where I'd be a bit socially burnt out and I just want to be by myself for a while, which is a bit hard when you're living in a house of like 6 people. It's trying to like get alone time.
True.
But that's why doors have locks.
It's definitely finding that balance, right? Of like,
yeah,
you want to be spending time with people, but obviously too much time can also be very draining on your.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about like people who are extroverts who like thrive off that, but as an introvert, I was like, after you just kind of sometimes need time to yourself.
I mean, extroverts, I think like all people just need some time to themselves, I think.
I mean,
it's a break for the mind.
I mean, Aidan, are you an extrovert?
Probably more so than
anyone else.
Yeah, like I do thrive in social settings, but there's even still that like that 20% of me that I do need to just have like at least a few hours just to recharge, because otherwise I burn myself out and then I'll put myself in a worse state of mind if I don't take care of myself. So it's kind of like
it's definitely finding a balance.
Yeah.
Aidan takes care of himself with that lamb donor and spicy spuds.
To be fair, I haven't had that in a while, so
he's trying to be healthy.
Probably the best for your health.
Well, he's trying to be healthy. I mean, it's kind of working.
I'll just wait for me to come visit. We won't be healthy for like a day.
So I know I mentioned this earlier, but I just want to talk about it a little bit more because of how big it is. I find anyway. But games as a form of entertainment. Obviously, from my personal experience, I find that games help me a lot with my mental health because it's just like you said, we get to spend time with friends. It's easier to spend time with friends on it. One thing I need to ask is like, obviously there are some games out there which, like, you have the solo player games, and I'm not gonna name drop a certain game right now, but there's a certain game we play which is very stressful. Do you think that's good? Like, do you think that's good for your for people's mental health to be playing games that are very intense and stressful, but they're like playing with their friends and stuff like that?
I mean, if it's a stressful game and you're playing with friends, sometimes it can be good because you're all like heavily focusing on like or you could just decide not to take the game seriously.
Yeah.
But I think when you play those like super serious games on your own, you're more likely to like negatively affect your own mental health.
Yeah. Like, obviously, because like it's also the people that are in the games, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
So like some games can be like very toxic.
Yeah.
Especially games with like public chats.
Yeah. It's very much, I think, like when we approach games that are multiplayer and stuff, that it's always just be wary with the public chat.
Yeah.
And like, one of the advice I would actually give people when they play games and they're suffering from like a severe case of mental health issues is that the moment it gets dark and toxic, you just instantly mute all. Like,
Yeah,
just mute the chat.
Yeah, it's just like it's probably best to just like stop paying attention to it.
Some people don't know where the line is really, and they can just keep going off, and they don't know that it could actually be hurting someone on the other end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of like reasons as like someone might not know a line because they might like not understand the line and so like it's difficult for them to understand the line. But I feel like some people cross the line because they're completely oblivious to how it would make someone feel.
Yeah, they don't think about. They don't like, have that mindset with like how will this make the other person feel.
I feel like in the gaming community, I think it's very well for me anyway because of my experience from it, and I'm sure you guys have experienced the same thing. It's very abhorrent that there's a lot of people that really don't understand the line to cross. Like, I know there's a lot, like, I love gaming and stuff, but would you agree or disagree with me? Like, I feel like a lot of the gaming community actually don't understand that what they're saying can be really, really hurtful.
Yeah, I think like especially recently, a lot of people have got into the mindset of because it's a game and you're not seeing the other person on the other side of the screen, they're just gonna like let it go. It's like they can take someone not responding as someone just being like, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
But some people might not respond because they think that actually really hurt me. They won't respond, but they'll internalize it.
Yeah.
And they'll like keep it with them.
Yeah, I think just very much we there needs to be a little bit more understanding and awareness within the gaming community as well as the rest of the world out there, but I think the gaming community very much so because people use games as an escape.
Yeah.
I mean, a big point of it comes down to communication though, which for some people is difficult in itself.
Yeah, definitely.
Like actually opening up and just being like, look, can you stop? It's actually affecting me, what you're saying. And it takes a lot of courage to just upright and say that to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be respect between the communities, I think.
Yeah.
Right. So we're actually coming to the end of our video right now. So Ben, last thing from you. Would there be any advice you'd give to anyone that is going through mental health problems right now, or someone that knows someone that's going through mental health problems and wants to help them?
I mean, for someone who knows someone, I would say just like, even if you personally don't understand, be patient. Just like try and listen to them, and also try and like not heavy-handedly, but if you know them well, like guide them towards a path that like will help them get better, but like don't push them when they're not ready to. And for people who are struggling themselves, it's normally the hardest step, but just like reaching out and trying to get some help. Because like I know it's hard to like talk to like family members and like even sometimes friends. So some friends you might be worried they might not understand, but it's a hard step, but reaching out to like a doctor's office, saying like you want to like talk to someone, or like you feel like you might be depressed. It's just taking that first step, like having the courage to reach out and be like, I need help.
Mm.
And even if you feel like it might not be as bad as some other people's, and like you don't want to take up doctors or therapists' time, just it's still, your mental health still matters.
Mm.
So it's like reach out for some sort of help, anything to like help you like carry on.
Right, that is some good advice there. I definitely agree with you, and Aidan, I'm sure you'd agree with us as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely like always take that first step to seek for help. Don't be afraid. Like, look out for yourselves there, and like talk to someone. I think is very, very important. Right. So thank you so much, Ben, for coming on to this video today. And
Thanks for having me.
No worries. And thank you, Aidan, for coming along and like giving some input, and like just being also a very good listener.
Yeah. It's mostly what I can be at this point.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you could hit the like button and subscribe, we'll be having more videos like this coming on. We'll be talking to more guests about their experiences and to help people understand what it's like for those that have mental health problems. That's it from us this week, and I'm gonna say stay lovely and stay safe, all of you, in this very dangerous world right now. And if you're going through something tough, and if you yourself are struggling, like we said today, please talk to someone. Please look out for yourself. Have a chat. It's gonna be a hard step, but maybe talk to a friend or a family member will be like very beneficial for you. Right. So talk to you guys later. Bye.